You mentioned his accolades. Fern on law.
Which law?
Forever Red Green law.
The only law. At
At
least to Fern.
Yes. I've seen Fern play a different deck twice, and I literally see this man play twice a week at the store. He's always on this deck, and he knows how to play it.
Yep. Whether he's playing One Piece or DC Deck Builder or Switch or Pokemon or whatever it is, you better count on Fern playing some crazy combo deck, because that's exactly what we're going to see here now.
And into Enel. I'm very happy we're seeing decks that we haven't seen in a while, like the.
This is Fern, bro. He never follows.
Fern plays by his own
shots.
rules.
Fern-
Yeah, he
There's
really
a leader
does.
card area, but he doesn't care.
Fern would play with his leader in his lap.
You know that leader's on the sleeve too, right?
I believe it.
Like
That-
it's just an unsleeved uncommon.
Oh, yeah.
Trafalgar
And-
So's his Dawn.
that
And they're upside down now.
Fern did come to me earlier, and he's like, "Hey, do you have demo deck Sanjis and Namis? I want to make sure my entire deck is not foil."
Flips over foil Dawn.
Well, yes.
But we have another Enel matchup here.
Yeah.
Probably the most popular deck in the room, I would say, by a decent bit.
From what I've seen, it's a lot of yellow, a lot of Enel, a lot of Katakuri. Not as much of a Sakazuki presence that I expected.
Look at
but-
that. Ban card, searching for another ban card.
True.
Crazy
true.
deck.
Yeah. And that's something that we didn't touch on at all with Whitebeard showing up last round, is not only was Whitebeard banned, but the entire, like, he played 9-drop and Radbeam.
Did he just
both have
hard
full
cast
back.
beige?
Ooh, wow.
He must have a really bad hand.
I guess you want to have small attacks against Law, but, like, Fern's not going to play into that, right? Like, against a bad Law player, sure.
Opts to counter the 5.
And the other band card. Fern declaring top 5 even though he doesn't have to. Rad.
Does play the Radical Beam. So what are some cool cards that Law kind of gets to see now that we're in OP5? Any changes?
Nico Robin.
The one drop.
The one drop Nico Robin
Okay.
that pops 1,000 or less, I believe.
Why is that good?
Because of the Brûlés.
Okay.
Brûlés in the format, being able to pop those.
Otama, and because
and
of that.
you can do stuff like that.
The Threatening Beige.
And putting these Otamas on the board, Law loves it because you fill out your board to be able to Shambles, which is the 2 mana or 2 Dawn ability that returns a guy to your hand to play a guy of the opposite color.
Yeah, I feel like Law just really struggles against a meta that's full of Sakazuki.
Yeah,
But,
and again,
raw casting another 2K.
Wow.
Yeah, his hand must
Wow.
be super dead. Not what you want to see. Historically, Law was like the bane of Yellow's existence. It just kind of always was. Oh my
Did
God.
I just see 3 Yamatos?
So he's going to gain a lot of life.
Oh, boy.
Not horrible, actually. In this matchup, you're going to be able to remove quite a bit.
You can go down to 1 life and still pop stuff in this matchup.
Fern already has
Okay.
the maximum board state. Pitching a Thunderbolt, so 3 Yamato and a Thunderbolt. Yeah, I can see why he casted the
Jeez.
Sorcery and the Beige now.
Bringing back Nami.
Seeing a
Shambles.
quick Shambles into the staple of the deck.
Law doing Law things.
Into a Zoro. Gonna see a 6 or a 7.
7 at
Has
life.
to take that one.
it.
T-Bolt would be pretty good.
Oh, that's
another
another-
Sanji. Pitches the
Okay.
Yamato.
Okay.
I don't hate this.
Drew.
I think that Nico Robin's also super good for Rebecca's. I think that's kind of the poster child of why it's in there.
True. You know what? Never occurred to me.
Yeah, Rebecca's just crazy.
Never occurred to me.
I feel like Sakazuki's probably the hardest matchup for Law, just because everything's small.
Yeah, and
they want things
Lucci
small. Yeah.
2-for-1s you without even trying.
Lets the Curly go. Doesn't opt to save it with the Law.
All the top tables are yellow versus Sakazuki, or
No,
just
it's
yellow
Just
and
or,
Sakazuki?
yeah, Yellow
Yeah.
mirrors or yeah.
Wow.
And one Law.
and a Law. Because for this
Doesn't
is a
really
2-0
surprise
match, right?
me. Did he play Ohm? Okay, hit the last card, Doggo.
Doggo. Doggo play Doggo. There we go.
All right, so we got a board here. So now
We're
kinda
looking a lot better.
Yeah, this kind of came out of nowhere, right? We went from raw
Yeah.
casting Beige, raw casting Satori into Trigger Sanji, Ohm into Holy.
Yep.
Not bad. But I think
And
he's going to have to pick up a lot of steam if he wants to win this game. He's really going to have to start removing things.
having the 2 cards with no counter in hand
First
against
Jewelry Bonnie of the game, we're going to see a Makoto and a Bonnie go to the bottom, along with that Restand Law.
Yep. Fern having a plethora of cards versus the 3 cards.
Plethora, huh?
Plethora, yeah.
Alright.
I'm trying to, be
Got it.
snazzy with
Noted.
my vocabulary and my attire.
It's the jacket. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So, Law doing Law things here, going to bounce some stuff around. That was the first Raw casting to Zoro
Yep.
here. Kind of interesting to see a Raw. He's going to take
Going
the
to
card,
0,
pitch the
going to
own
1.
to put the card back. That's really dangerous. If he takes that last life, it's going to be really hard to come back.
What is that 3rd card in Enel's hand? It was Yam Yam question mark?
Okay, so picks up the...
Is that another Satori? I think.
He picked up the Bonnie to put down the other Zoro. And he's just going to go for a 7 swing. Trying to get that
7.
last life out of there.
Yeah.
Has to force
Get
all
him
the
to 0.
blockers. But is he at 9 Dawn?
Yes.
Is this the 9 Dawn? Okay, so 9 Dawn, 4 life total to play with here. Has he swung at life at all, actually? Is there 5?
Starts at 4.
Right, I know. Between the 2 players.
Oh, yes, 5 total, yeah.
So can he remove the Law? That's kind of the big thing here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's huge.
I think you start by swinging 6 with Omen to the Law, forcing a card out of the hand. Opts to go for the 2K gone.
5 at Zoro, 5 at Zoro.
Yeah.
And then...
I think Fern kind of realizes that I got to let something go.
Yep.
Pitching an Otama and a Sanji. And
Well,
gets rid of the
well,
Law. Big card there.
This-
Gaining the life back. I think that Enel can stabilize.
I was going to say, this game, the
Might
feel
swing.
of this game just shifted entirely.
Right. Yeah. Red-Green Law, historically, loves to take life. They
Yep.
love to have a whole bunch of cards in their hand. Loves to search. When you don't let them
you played
search...
12 searchers? 16
Don't let them draw.
searchers?
Yeah, 4 to Don, 4 Nami, 4 Bonnie.
Mhm.
So that's 12 at least.
Chopper and Luffy.
Does not find the Green Law off
No.
of that Bonnie.
His first Nami, bottom one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like he doesn't have a Green Law here to be able to bounce a rush effect. So, on the flip side, he does have a lot of swings. He's going to start removing the board slowly but surely.
His opponent doesn't have counter power.
Doesn't have a 5th body on the board, too.
True.
So he does have a Nami in his hand.
But can he shambles it to anything?
Was that
No.
another Yamato?
Surely.
I really hope not, for Fern's sake, because
Yeah.
that would be really bad. Once Diz kind of sets up, 3 Yamato, like, what then? what do you do? You're just like, all right, cool, the whole squad's here.
Yeah, you...
Ooh, a huge swing here with
Okay.
Luffy.
Into Ohm.
Going 9 into Ohm. I think he has to let... Oh, he let...
Yeah.
I think he had to let that go. Definitely not swinging at life.
I
when
know,
you can't
really
go for
wanted to
game.
take that line.
Ah,
El Thor.
El Thor. Not going to be much value here.
I mean, it's still really nice to have as backup when you're tapping out for your Yamatos.
Hey, we're right back at another scenario here. Let's just swing into the Brook. We're
Yep.
going to see 9K swing into that Zoro, probably, or
Well,
the Luffy.
no, the Luffy.
But there's 5 life on the board. He could just Yamato again, remove that Luffy, gain the life
Wow.
back. And now we're
Oof.
seeing where this whole thing can kind of swing around. And he's got the Dawn for the Thor
Yep.
for 2K. Still admirable.
Sure.
Top deck's another
Especially
Bonnie.
when you have so few cards in hand, it matters.
But Diz is here for the long game. He is, I am going to let you run out of resources
Yep.
before I start going for your life. Capitalize on the scenario. I think that's the 4th Zoro.
We've been seeing a bunch of cards
All
in
the
pairs
Zoros.
today. Like Zoro's times 4.
Can we also-
Zoro's times 3.
Also worth mentioning, no one is playing the OP1 Zoro anymore. It's all ST10.
I do.
Well, you're you. You wore a jacket today, so here's that. Does
He
finally
did find
the
the
law.
good law. Oh, 2 laws? Does he
do-
have starter deck law in hand as well?
I think he has to play this Nami.
Nami
It's
get
second Luffy.
Okay.
So Fern always played a heavy Luffy count.
Yes.
Not a lot of players did, but he always was an advocate for that card, and I agree with him. I think the card's fantastic.
Honestly, any take that Fern has with the law deck, I will take it to heart.
His hand has no counter.
It's just
So
Well, that's fine where he's at right now.
Fern
right?
rested 2 Dawn and chose to attack first.
Get the doggo.
So he needs to unrest that Dawn that he just rested. He rested 2 Dawn for no reason.
For
Nami puts
to-
down the Law to bounce the Bonnie probably into a Zoro here. You kind of have to. He has no counter in his hand.
Yep, yeah.
His hand is Luffy, Zoro, and Law with a Rad Beam. So this is the point
Go
where...
to 0, go to 1. Ooh,
Was that?
that's a no.
Okay, that was the SP and L. He's pitching all of his counter. So now we're going to see a huge 8K swing.
Does he... Oh, because the... Okay,
The
yeah.
Thor is
The Satori
9K.
that was hiding
Okay.
in his hand at all times.
So that went to 9K.
Yep.
Are
Tried
we
to get
gonna
him to
see
0, but...
another Yamato to kill that Law?
Yeah.
If
Just
that's what happens
rinse and
here,
repeat.
I think Fern might be in a lot of trouble because all of his best cards are going to be dead.
Just 5 at Zoro, 9 at Zoro.
He did pitch one of the Yamatos when
Yes.
it came, when he had to
Yes.
switch his life, but he does have the Enel here.
Yep.
He also has Ohm. I don't think you want to set up Ohm.
It's interesting to me because, like, oh,
Diz playing a dangerous game
8
here.
at Bonnie?
I think he went for 7. He does have the Enel. I think you... Oh, the
Oh.
Katakuri.
What? This
And
is...
just like that, there's no board. But we already know Fern's got a bunch of rush in his hand. So
It's true.
Are we going to see the 10K swing with the Robin?
Man, not playing Yamato there for that extra life.
I don't think he had it. I think he had the 7-drop Enel. And I
Oh,
think
he
the
only drew
Katakuri is what we...
3. Oh,
bottom,
okay.
bottom decking another Law here.
Yep. Which is...
Or was that a Winter Bonnie? I think
No,
it was,
that was a law.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. But Fern wants to minimum rarity.
Okay.
You're not
got
going to
it.
see
Noted.
any winter Bonnies here.
Is he going to pitch the Ohm? Pitches the Ohm, saves
Yep.
the life, knowing that there's not going to be a whole lot of swings left here. So Fern now at this stage,
5. Oh,
is Robin a 1K or a 2K?
2K.
All right, has to take the life.
Yep.
He's going for it.
Can...
6 at lead. Pitches the only card in hand. It's a 2K.
Yeah.
Drops
Okay.
the blocker and says go. What did he draw? A Shirahoshi.
That's not good.
That's a +1, I
for
guess.
5 Dawn.
But now in this scenario, hey, remove the Luffy, remove the
Mhm,
Robin.
mhm.
Let's just hope that things get
Yeah.
removed a lot.
I find it very interesting that, like, you are playing this attrition game against Law when Law has so much card advantage that, like, you can be in this board state, like, way ahead, but sometimes it just doesn't matter.
Is it going to pay off? I mean, he's passing, not giving him the cards. I think if you're Diz, you have to catch up here. In reality, you have 1 card in hand and he has 3 swings.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's going for. He's going to take the life, pitch the card. He's
I
going to
guess
go down.
he yeah, in what world do you...
I think he should have countered, because if he has no cards in hand, he can still use the Enel effect. Maybe he doesn't know that, because it does say up to 1. You don't have to pitch a card because you gain the life first.
Wow. Gonna be honest. As a judge, I did not know that.
Did not know that, because it's 2 different effects.
Speaking of judging,
It's all good.
I'll be right back.
So he does trigger Ashura here, which will allow him to get another card. Not sure if he's going to have much. Okay, so it's not up to, it's a mandatory effect. Okay, interesting. But you do gain the life first, and then you have to discard a card. Yeah, okay. So Fern does find himself a Law here, is able to search for a Sanji, takes the life, finds another Yamato, which is a huge find here. Going to be able to just basically get 2 more attacks back, and Law is at 5 life right now, so he can remove that Law. I don't think attacking first was good. He's going to go for the game here, I think. Just take all these cards. Gonna pop the chopper blocker, it looks like, and regain that life. But we just let Law draw 5 cards, so what was it all worth is kind of the question. Does he have the El Thor in hand? I think he's only got 2 cards. So if we do see a restand Law here, this could be the end of this game. Datsu. I think this is where we kind of have to see if there's a restand Law in his deck, then I think you just go huge, huge. You don't have 5 bodies on the board to be able to capitalize on the Dawn efficiency. So maybe dropping, it looks like he's eyeing up a couple of beiges. 2 beige and maybe a Bonnie. 9 into what I'm assuming is lead. Takes the life, does not have a trigger. And now we could just see a 7k swing with the Nami. Looks like he is going to go wide.
Okay, what did I miss? I got pulled away at such an important part of the game.
So Fern's going in here. We're seeing him go into a whole bunch of cards. Does he have to restand? He does. 9k life, and that is counter out. He's able to counter.
Is that his last attack?
I think that was it.
Oh, no.
He had perfect counter off of the last life here. He's got 3 Yamatos and a Katakuri in hand. Law does have a very large hand and 2 blockers. Is he able to swing into life twice?
You just 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Like,
so the 2 blockers are going to absorb 2 hits for sure. But this is going to be a very important turn. Dawn allocation will be everything.
Yeah.
Look at all of the rush in the discard pile.
Oh, man, he had perfect counter.
3 Zoro, 2 Luffy's, and 2 Laws in the discard.
So, double beige while I was gone.
Yep, so Fern did have just Nami and the Law on the board. We were talking about how if he had the restand Law, could be game. If Diz wasn't able to find the counter's life and he found exact counter.
Mm-hmm.
I think the draw for turn was a holy, so it's win or lose this turn. Looks like he does
went
counter
for 7
out.
at first. And now
Are we going to see the Shura be the clutch victory card?
what card's that?
Shura, I don't know. Never heard of it. You're going to see a 9 at life. That's going to be our first beige.
Block.
You're going to see another 9 at life.
Take it.
Does he have enough 2Ks in his hand? He's got a bunch of... I see a Nami and a Rad Beam.
No Dawn for the
Can't
Rad
use the
Beam.
Rad Beam. Does take the life.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go 9 at life again.
I did see an Atama in hand.
He's got 1 more Yamato. He cannot block with beige here.
No.
He does have a lot of counter.
Counters
And
out.
that's it. 10k counter.
Yeah, but
2 Otamas and a Nami.
And then
9k
we'll see it close
block,
out
and
with
then a
Shura.
huge Shura
Sure enough.
for the game. And Fern...
Sure enough.
Diz takes the win. I hate you.
Sure
So that just
enough.
goes to show, Enel shining again.
That was an
Reading his lips, he's like, I have no idea how I won that game.
Yeah.
Saw all 4 Yamatos, and sometimes that's
Drew the
all
third.
it takes.
He
Drew
does the-
lived on a prayer.
The Enel, praying to Enel there with the